on, we're going to start the recording by going into what curves are and how to use the S-curve. Now, in the previous video, um, we saw how to adjust the dark and light point, which gives us a bit of a boost to the image. From that to this, gives us a bit more contrast and a better tonal range. We said our dark point is not pure black and not pure white, but enough that it could be picked up for a printer. Okay. Now we come back and we'll open up a new curves layer. So how I did that, you press that back arrow, you find curves and you click on it. That'll bring up curves layer 2. You'll notice I'm not changing the names of these just yet. I don't bother changing the names for curves 1 and 2 for a couple of reasons, but I'll show you why uh, in a few moments. Now, this little hand with the up and down arrow is what you click on, and that allows you to make changes all across the board in the different tonal values. So generally what you would do is an S-curve, and an S-curve is literally this, 1, 2, 3 points. And that gives you a good boost to it. Now if we were to do that to the original image, it wouldn't look quite right. You need those middle tones to be popped out. And as you can see, that's got a bit more detail to it with both curve adjustments. So traditionally, this would be how you would do a curve adjustment. Since the introduction of the click and drag to modify, that sort of changed a bit. It gives you a bit more freedom. And for the level that you're at, this is probably the best tool. So how I do this is I start with my dark area. So here's a dark area that I definitely want to bring down. So I'll bring him down a little bit until I feel comfortable. That's a nice little black there. So we can already see we've brought a bit darker tones into it. But unfortunately, I've also made adjustments in here, which is not what I want. Um, and down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly adjust that just to bring a little more pop up. So I lose a little bit here, but I've gained it back here. Now down here again, we've got a darker area, so we're just going to darken him up just a little bit. Now as I'm doing this, I'm flicking my eyes between actually watching and just watching what's happening to this histogram here. Every time we make a change, it's going to make changes to this histogram. If I see a lot of these little spikes pop up, I've done a bit too much damage to the file, and I need to go back and readjust. So now I want this side to be lighter, but I want this side to be darker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just darken that off because we've already started with the darkening. Get it to there, come over to this side and really lighten her up. Now that's also lightened all these higher ranges, but don't worry, if we want to bring them back down, we can do that as we go. So we're really just changing the highlight values here. Now I'm going to give this just a tad more push to it, just here. Okay, and that's perfect. That's exactly how I want it. Now remembering these are phone photographs, so they're not going to be the best quality output, but we're going to tidy them up enough that you could print them or chuck them up on Facebook. So let's have a look at the before and after. So this is before the two curves layers, and this is the after. Now generally what I like to do is to do this in the complete reverse order, and I'm about to show you why. Yeah, we'll just move that to the top. It's not going to make much difference there. We're going to just undo it. Now, the problem with doing this first, which is what is traditionally taught, so if you go to tutorials, they will teach you to do the threshold layer first. The problem is, once you start adjusting colors and lightness and darkness again, you're going to notice that you'll start to blow out the whites and blacks and lose a lot of detail. So generally, I would actually have done it in the reverse order. So what I'll do, I'm going to stop, do another video and show you very quickly, it'll only take 2 minutes, the shorter versions of both of these and just combine it and show you the proper order in which to do it. All right, cheers guys.